Give me 1 second. All right, that's better. We're ready to chat Disney. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Taylor, and today I'm super excited because we're kicking off the Disney series that I've been talking about. Today we're going to talk about how I have planned for a honeymoon slash I'll also be celebrating my birthday there, which just happens to be a coincidence, I promise. But how have I planned for that? There's been so much that's gone into it. There's a whole lot of terminology I didn't know about before, like a rope dropping, Genie Plus. I've never stayed at a resort. I've never been to Florida, never been to Disney World. So if all of this sounds like you, stick around. We're having a little tea chat today. I've got my Disney mug that I ordered from Shop Disney. Super cute, I love it. It has these little Mickeys all over it and I really love the color. Pro tip, if you shop from Shop Disney, you can find things that you would also find in the park, and they're always having discounts. So if you sign up for their text messages, I'm pretty sure I got like everything for 30 to 40% off, which was a huge save for me. You know what? I think I'm forgetting something. Give me 1 second. All right, that's better. We're ready to chat Disney. Okay, so there's so much to talk about today. Grab something that you want to drink, stick around. I've got green tea with honey, and I have some talking points. I want to be sure to kind of hit everything. This vlog's going to be different than what I've done before in the sense that I'm really just going to be kind of chatting it up with you. So let's get started with the very beginning. We decided to do Disney World for our honeymoon because we're absolutely obsessed with Disney. Obviously, I think that's why most people decide to do that. And so we really were considering staying outside of the parks. We were going to stay just at a hotel that was near, maybe rent a car or do Uber transportation, stuff like that. But after kind of crunching those numbers, we did decide that staying at a resort would be worth it for us, and we really wanted to splurge since it's our honeymoon. Disney has, I believe, 3 different tiers for resorts. They have their budget resorts, they have their mid-tier, and then they have their high tier. We decided that we were going to stay at a budget resort, which I believe is like their all-star resorts, and then their Pop Century, which is where we were going to stay. And in the resort package, we were able to add our park tickets. So we decided we were going to do 3-day park hoppers just to give ourselves some flexibility. So I just went to the Disney website and I searched up resorts, and then that's where I started asking me, do you want to add tickets, park hoppers? The Disney website is a great place to start. If all of this is super new to you, you've never been to Disney, and you really don't know where to start at the website, okay? Another big tip that I recommend is watching some vlogs and reading some blogs, say that fast, about or of people that are constantly going to Disney, and then they do that for a living. They love to share with people their tips and their tricks and how they have the best time when they're at Disney, how they maximize their time. And then you can find videos that are more tailored to your situation. Like for us, it's just going to be my husband and myself. But maybe you have kids, maybe you're going with a whole family, and you want to be able to plan for that. For me, I knew, we're going to splurge and we're going to spend a lot of money just on resort and tickets alone. Disney's not cheap. And so, my first thought was like, oh my gosh, how do people just afford to do this, especially like 7 to 10 day trips? So, really doing your research will help you to be sure that you are going to be able to maximize your time. So we went to the website, we decided, all right, we're gonna book the resort, we got our tickets, and from there I started getting emails. So I definitely recommend that you keep checking your emails. And then I quickly learned that I needed to make park day reservations. They're no longer going to require this in 2024, but for now, if you still plan to go in 2023, you do need to have a park day reservation. So for instance, I need to know what park I plan to at least start at each day that I'm there, and I need to make a reservation accordingly. You can do this through your Disney account that you make when you book your resort, you book your tickets, or if you don't stay at the resort, you don't do that online. Nonetheless, you still need to book reservations for the park. So checking your emails after you buy your tickets, your park tickets at least, for how to proceed with that, because I'm pretty sure you're also going to have a Disney account. I decided, okay, you know what, we're going to start it, right? One day at Magic Kingdom, one day at Animal Kingdom, one day at Epcot, and then at some point we're going to park hop into Hollywood Studios. How did I know kind of what parks needed a whole day, or how do I know what parks need a whole day and what parks I can do possibly in half of a day? I watched YouTube videos for people that do this. So do your research and figure out, a big tip I have is like, what are your family's non-negotiables, right? So everybody in your family is going to have different things that they want to do. Maybe they want to ride a certain ride, or they want to experience a certain attraction. So you really want to have those conversations way in advance. And I'm talking, I don't recommend planning a Disney trip last minute. Give yourself months and months, minimum 3 months, to really plan how to make your Disney trip exactly what you're wanting, and that everybody gets to have the experience that they're looking for. So you make your park reservations, you've got that done, and then from there you got to decide, do you want to have any dining at the park? Any of the sit-down dining experiences. Some people want to sit and eat at the Cinderella Castle. Some people want to go to Be Our Guest, which is the whole Beauty and the Beast experience in the Beauty and the Beast Castle. If you are going to want to experience any of these, guess what? You're going to want to book those dining reservations 60 days out. So keep a look on those emails, mark it on your calendar, 60 days out, 6 a.m. Florida time, so account for your time change. That was 5 a.m. our time. Set your alarms and know you're going to log into your Disney. I recommend getting the My Disney Experience app. Okay, from here, this is really going to be your hub and your best friend. Get to know this app, sit on the couch while you're watching TV one night and navigate the app. And here you can make dining reservations. What my husband and I did was, this is a big tip I recommend, practice making those dining reservations the night before. So give somebody else in your party a job, or if it's all on you, make sure you have a list of top priority to least priority, okay? So our top priority was Be Our Guest, and then we went down from there and we each had a job. We were each going to make 2 to 3 reservations come 5 a.m., okay? And I'm telling you, they do sell out. So something I've also learned, and this is a helpful tip, once your 60 days opens up, if you're a resort guest, you can actually book your dining reservations for 10 days out. So say your trip starts October 3rd, you're going to be there till October 13th. From 60 days from October 3rd, you can actually book all of your dining reservations for your entire 10-day stay. Okay, so everybody that's ahead of you that is there for 10 days or what, they've already started booking for that first day. So you really want to be sure to set those alarms and be there to get those time slots, because believe it or not, we were barely, one time here, one time there. Get your dining reservations, lock those in. You will need a credit card to make the reservation, but they don't charge you anything. Unless you get Cinderella's Castle, you do have to pay for the entire meal up front. And there's so much that goes into this, guys. Some of them are prefixed menus where you're getting, a 3-course meal and you're paying a set price, and some of them are not. You get to just order from the menu like regular. So be sure to do research on that as well. And on the Disney app, you can actually view the menu, view the price, everything that you need to know is there, okay? I'm not saying you can't get reservations for a restaurant that you really want the day before or the day of. Hey, it's Disney, magic happens there. But I would definitely say be prepared, because I would hate for you to, have you tell your kids, or you have your heart set on eating at Cinderella's Castle, and then you think that you're just going to be able to kind of walk up and there's nothing available. So plan for that ahead of time, okay? Something else that you're able to do on your My Disney Experience app ahead of time is do an early check-in to your resort. So I recommend doing that because you're able to actually put in some preferences that you may have. So depending on the resort that you're staying at, you're going to be offered different preferences, such as maybe you want the ground floor, maybe you want to be close to bus stops, okay, maybe you want a specific building, okay? So you're going to want to do research on your resort specifically and see, do you want to be close to whatever the transportation that's offered there? Another big tip is what type of transportation is offered. Is the Skyliner important to you? Then maybe you want to be sure to stay at a resort that offers access to the Skyliner, okay? For us, we really, I don't know that we're have a big preference, so it wasn't that big of a deal, but that is a big experience for some people, and that a lot of people, it can make or break their daily transportation if they don't have access to the Skyliner. So plan for that. So like I said, you check into your hotel, you can make those accommodation requests. They're not guaranteed, but the cast members are going to do their best to make those accommodations for you. Something else I want to share with you, because this is important to me and maybe this will be important to somebody else out there, is resorts do have ability for you to get a fan from them. So I know for me, I was really concerned that I wouldn't have access to white noise. I have a white noise machine, but I was like, I really don't have room for it in my carry-on. And I called the resort and they did tell me that I can always get a boxed fan from them. So if you need white noise and that's your jam, just know that that's the option. They have them there for you. And they told me that they never run out. So just keeping that in mind. Something else that I recommend that you do is look into seeing if you want to get a magic band. This is something that you're going to want to order in advance. If you stay at the resort, you do get a discount, so be sure to order through your Disney account, because I was actually just like on the Shop Disney website separate. I wasn't signed in or anything, and I was going to purchase magic bands at $35 a piece. And then when I signed into my account on my app, it said like there was a part that shows like, okay, this is your reservation or this is your hotel, and then there was a part for magic bands, and I clicked on that and I saw that it was actually offering them to me as a resort guest at a fraction of the price. Be sure to order them through your app, okay? Mine was originally $35 and I got it for I think $20. My husband's was like $8 or $10, so definitely save money there. Magic bands, what the heck are those, right? All of this was super new to me. Magic bands are a way, and actually grab one. Here's a magic band. This is the one that I chose. Looks a lot like a watch. Pro tip, if you're getting this for a little one, there's actually a piece right here where you can actually just pop that out, and that makes the band much shorter for a child, okay? So a lot of people don't know about that. Magic band is basically your kind of all access key, okay? This is how you're gonna be able to get into your room. Disney, they no longer require the resorts that you actually have to go and check in at the front desk. So if you do the pre-check-in on your app, then once you get to the resort, you're most likely going to earlier in that day, get your room number on the app. You'll see your room number. You'll see like the ability to unlock your door with your phone or with your magic band, if your magic band is linked up. Once you get your magic bands in the mail, and they do send them, and they also offered us the option to have engraving, so our names are actually engraved on the back, and I don't think that you'll be able to see it, but my name is engraved on there. Andrew's actually looks a lot better. Once you get those in the mail, you're gonna wanna see and learn how to connect them to your app, okay? So while you do that, you get everyone for your family. I would also be sure to have everybody make their own Disney accounts, so that you guys can connect as a family in the app. And I would do this all prior to getting to the park. These are things you want to be learning how to do ahead of time. So once you have your whole family, whatever you reserve, right, dining reservations, and you actually do this before dining reservations, okay? So when you do reserve your dining reservations, and you do reserve, later on we'll talk about Disney Genie Plus and individual lightning lanes, you're gonna do that for your entire party, everyone that's listed on the app as part of your party, okay? So I definitely recommend that. Something I do want to say before I move on from kind of the whole resort planning and first steps, something I absolutely love Disney did and I didn't know is if you want to stay at a resort, you don't have to have all of the money to pay for the reservation up front. Disney allows you to make the reservation for your resort, put down a $200 deposit, and then they give you up to 30 days before your trip to finish paying it off. So if you book your resort, you book this trip well in advance, then you can make payments. You can also even use Disney gift cards to make payments towards that, and you have up to 30 days before your trip to have it paid off. So they'll send you email reminders, don't worry, but put all that on the calendar. If you're like us and you think that staying at a Disney resort is just never gonna happen for you, that's not in the cards, well, this may be your ticket in. So thank you, Disney, for allowing us to do that, because that is so awesome, and we're so excited that we're gonna have like the experience of a lifetime getting to stay at a Disney resort. I grew up going to Disneyland as a little girl. I grew up in Southern California, and I just never have stayed at a resort, and I honestly just never thought I was going to stay at a resort. This is really exciting, and if that's something you didn't know, and if that now makes it something that might be manageable for you and your family, then I'm glad that I was able to give you that information. Moving on to some of the kind of more, I think these are things that a lot of people don't think about when they're planning for the trip. I know personally, like I said, I grew up going to Disneyland. I really didn't plan like what rides I wanted to ride, and was I gonna get Fast Pass, I think is what it was called back then, lightning lanes, all that. And we never really planned for that. We just go to the park and we wait in the lines, and that's just part of the experience. But there's actually a better way to enjoy Disney and a smarter way, and I hope that I'm able to explain this to you the best way possible, because it is actually incredibly complicated. So Disney has a service called Genie Plus, and I recommend, again, doing your research on this and learning all about it. There are rules to Genie Plus, lots of them. There is a specific, and there's smart ways to use it, And I think if you know how to use it, then it's really a great tool to have for you and your family to just be able to enjoy yourselves better at the park. So Disney Genie Plus is something you can purchase per day, per park, and it's lightning lanes essentially, right? So you're skipping the line and you're gonna do that through your app. Now, what you're gonna wanna learn is how to use it, okay? In a nutshell, you can purchase it the day of starting midnight. You can book your first lightning lane at 7 a.m. You can't book your second one till 2 hours after the park opens. That's not early access opens, that's opens to the public. If you stay at resorts, you get early access by 30 minutes to each park. So you can either book it 2 hours after the park opens, you can book your lightning lanes after you've checked in one. So say you have a lightning lane booked for Pirates of the Caribbean, and then you go check in at Pirates of the Caribbean, and I'm doing this because you can check in with your magic band at the rides. See, get a magic band. Once you check in, then you can book your next one, okay? You can't just start booking them in the morning and have them all booked up. Also, they give you time windows to come back, right? It's not the same as Universal. If you have been to Universal in Florida and you're thinking that this might be a similar experience, it's not, okay? They're gonna give you a time window to come back, all right? Now, there's a lot that goes into this. You can modify that time window and try and find a better time that works for you. And there are some rides that you cannot use this service with, and these are gonna be those big hitter rides like Tron, Guardians of the Galaxy, Seven Dwarfs Mine Train, and the Avatar Flight of Passage, and Rise of the Resistance, okay? We got 5 rides that you cannot use Genie Plus on. You have to buy what's called an individual lightning lane. Again, I had no idea what the heck any of this was, so I hope that this is helpful. So you're gonna buy an individual lightning lane for those if you wanna skip the line. If not, then you're gonna want to be prepared to wait. And some of these waits get over 100 minutes during peak times. So stuff to consider, right? Maybe you don't care. Maybe you want to get on a couple rides and you don't mind waiting in line. Maybe some of your party wants Genie Plus and the others don't. Maybe some people care about those big hitter rides and some don't. And I think that it's super important to plan for that ahead of time and not wait until you get to the park to be trying to walk up to Tron and think, I'm gonna walk right onto Tron. Guess what? You can't. If you didn't buy an individual lightning lane, when it comes to Tron and Guardians of the Galaxy, you actually only have one other way to get on the ride, and it's not by walking up and getting in line. It's by getting into a queue. They do these virtual queues, and they only offer them at 7 a.m. and 1 p.m. And guess what? Everyone is rushing to their phone at 7 a.m. and 1 p.m. to book these, okay? And then it's giving them a time to come back later in the day, and you cannot modify that time. If you want to be able to pick a time that you want to ride it, then your only option is to do an individual lightning lane. I hope this is making sense. A lot of it can get complicated, and I think, a lot of feedback people have given about Genie Plus is that, it kind of like requires some kind of collegiate degree. Like, it's just, they're so intricate and there's so many rules. So I definitely recommend have fun with it. 2 channels that I really, really love. I do not know them, but I'm fully supporting them. Our Mammoth Club, her name is Molly. Rob over at Ear Scouts, okay? Both of them have wonderful channels. They live in Florida. They're constantly going to the parks. This is what they love. This is their passion. And they are going to share everything and anything there is to know about Genie Plus. I'm here to tell you how to plan for your first ever trip to Disney World, what to look out for, what to do research on, okay? I hope that I gave you some tidbits. It gives you kind of insight into whether or not you need to know more. But definitely, I will put their info down in the description box as well. That way you can go check them out. I recommend, binging those videos.
Okay, I've been like a sponge soaking up all things Disney for the last month.
I want to be well planned, and I also really just want to maximize my time there with my husband. And we know that we don't want to spend our time in lines, and we know that it's hot, Another thing, plan for the weather. I had no idea, naive, okay? I had no idea that Florida was still gonna be mega hot in October, and I had no idea it rains almost every day. Planning for that, what I did is I have a note on my phone. I have various notes. I have notes that I'm taking from things that I'm learning on these videos I'm watching, right? Like stop places I want to stop and eat. Maybe I want to get a sweet treat here or drink there, or my husband's going to want to get a coffee somewhere. And I write names of those down, what park they're in, where to find them. And I have another note running with things that I'm going to need to pack, right? As I'm learning, I'm like, oh, you know what? I need to pack some ponchos or raincoats. Okay, what am I going to do? Do I want my shoes to get wet, my socks to get wet, right? Kind of planning for that. Another thing I recommend too is actually, if you decide to stay at a resort, you can have groceries delivered to your resort room. Instacart is a way to do this, and I believe there is another service that Disney offers, but I don't know what it's called, so I'm not going to give you false information. But a lot of people use Instacart, and they will deliver your groceries to the front desk, and they will actually take them to your room for you, which is really, really nice. So if you want to save some money there, I know we really want to save money on breakfast. So we're gonna, buy some bananas and yogurts and granola and cereal, and we're just gonna have that sent to the room. Something else I learned, which is totally random, but I wanna share, apparently Florida water tastes bad and makes some people sick. I think somebody said it tastes like sulfur. I have no idea. So if you dare find out, I know you can get free water throughout the park. That's another way to save money. Not that this video is about tips on saving money, but I can always do that at another time. Maybe you're gonna wanna also plan that you're gonna have to buy water all day long, or you're gonna stock up on water in your resort, or somebody's gonna have a water backpack, whatever. All right, so last, I'm gonna leave you with really just, at this point, you have everything ready. Have fun, get that apparel that you like. Use Shop Disney, get those discounts, take advantage of those before you get into the park. I got all my ears. As much as I really, really would love to have bought them at the park and have that experience, it just made more sense for me to save the money and just buy them ahead of time on Shop Disney. And I got like 3 sets of ears for mega cheap. So they're like $35 in the park a pair. And that's like, I think, just the normal price. Some of them are higher depending if they're like specialty ears. Utilize Shop Disney, utilize the discounts, have fun, and really just do research. What I did was I downloaded a park map, say a Magic Kingdom day, I downloaded a map and I highlighted the rides that are must-dos for me, must-dos for my husband. And then in another color, I highlighted, other rides we would like to do. All right, and then on the third color, I highlighted like filler rides, maybe oh, that'd be cool, but we just really, if we have time or if we're in the area. And then make a plan, right? You don't want to be hopping all over the park, back and forth, just running about, right? It's hot and you don't want to do that, and your feet don't want you to do that. Having some sort of general plan. If you are a resort guest and the park opens 30 minutes early to you, you get access to Fantasyland and you get access to Tomorrowland. So how do you want to plan your day? I'll leave you with an example of a day, and hopefully maybe this kind of will give you some insight. So I have basically 2 different options for Magic Kingdom, okay? This is another thing. Do you guys want to sleep in on vacation, right? We have a Magic Kingdom plan for waking up early, getting there during what's called, I said I was going to talk about this. So early access is 8:30 for resort guests when we're going to be there. Definitely go through on your Disney app, check the hours of the days that you're going to be there. And I almost forgot, check if there are any special events. If you have your heart set on spending an entire day at Magic Kingdom and you think that you're going to be watching the fireworks and you're going to end your night there at 10 p.m. and you don't check that there might be Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween party going on or a Christmas party going on, and you're going to get kicked out of Magic Kingdom at 6, your heart's going to be broken. So check before you make your park daily reservations, check to see if there are any other events going on. While we are there, Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween party is going on. We had 3 days, so we had to pick the day that's not going on to spend at Magic Kingdom. There are other events as well. They offer after hours to people, and if you're in the high tier resorts, usually they'll offer like after hours events for you and things like that. So look and see what perks make the most sense for you when you are doing your booking. But early access is a great perk. So say we get early access, we get there, it's 8:30, we roll in, right? We're gonna run to Jungle Cruise. We're gonna walk, but we're gonna go to Jungle Cruise, right? And I'm gonna be booking my lightning lanes, and we're gonna do all of the rides that we wanna do in Fantasyland, and then we're gonna shift over to Liberty Square, and then we're gonna come out, and then we might go over to Adventureland, and then go for lunch, and then go to Tomorrowland. Do we want to see a parade? Do we want to see the fireworks at night? How are we gonna fit in our dining reservations? So kind of plan for all that. And then I also planned a second day option of if we wanna sleep in. So now that I know how to use my lightning lane service, I know that I can still sleep in and really enjoy my day if I lightning lane stack. So basically what that means is every 2 hours in the morning while I'm sleeping in or resting, me and my husband can be switching off, book our first lightning lane at 7 a.m., then 11 a.m., then 1 p.m., and then we get to the park maybe at 2, and we already have 7, 11, 1, 3 lightning lanes booked up. And then we get to the park and we're like, cool, we have 3 lightning lanes, and it's 2 o'clock and we slept in and we got to relax and enjoy ourselves. So do your research there too, learn how to lightning lane stack if that's something that's important to you. Sleep is very important to us. We don't want to have to wake up every morning. Now I'm probably going to be on some kind of like Disney high where I'm just going to be like, I'm ready to go early in the morning, which would be a miracle because I'm not a morning person. But if that happens, hey, I'm here for it. Which also, maybe you guys want to plan a nap in the middle of the day. I know my husband and I do. Like if we are going to be up early and we are going to be there for early access, and rope drop, which is another term I spoke about. I had no idea what that was. When the park opens to everyone, it's called rope drop. So a lot of people will go at that time to ride those heavy hitter rides, and they're just very popular, like Peter Pan's Flight, Jungle Cruise, Space Mountain. If you're in, every park is different, right? They'll go hit those big rides in the right at rope drop before the park gets very hectic. So just figure out what works for you and your family, what makes sense. And like I said, my husband and I, if we do early access and rope drop, then we plan on going back to the resort in the middle of the day and having a nap and a refresh and a shower, then going back out. To be honest, I do not know how people do Disney from open to close. You guys are some kind of, I'm not of this world. You're not a human being. Ears off to you. But we definitely cannot. We are going to want to rest. I hope that this was helpful. I know it's probably a little bit chaotic, but I hope that it helps even one of you just feeling empowered and exactly kind of what you need to do and what points you need to hit for planning your Disney trip. We're super excited. I'm going to be posting more Disney content for like literally all of the next 2 months. So please come back if you are here for this and you're excited for Disney and this is your jam. Hit the like button if this was helpful. Subscribe if you want to see more. Turn on that notification bell if that's your jam. And I can't wait to see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.